Week 20 of fantasy hockey is finally here. The league is going crazy right now with Austin Matthews projected to score more than 70 goals. And it seems like there's a four-way tie for the first place in the Hart Trophy race. Really exciting times in hockey and really exciting times in fantasy hockey as we begin to enter the fantasy hockey playoffs. Now, I feel like a lot of you are wondering, Mike, how are you doing in some of your leagues right now? So I have it up here on my phone. I'm in first place in a $50 buy-in league. I'm in first place in another $50 buy-in league. First place in a $100 buy-in league. Fourth in the FantasyPuck Atlantic League. I'm in fifth in a $10 buy-in league with people from work. That is a no-move league. It's really interesting with penalty minutes. I'm in eighth in another FantasyPuck Patreon league. And then I'm in eighth in a keeper league with Chris, Don, and Sven, if you're in the Discord. So a couple of the FP guys. A keeper league that I've been selling off on. So pretty good season so far this year. It really helped that I drafted Michael Matheson, Demko, Markstrom, and Philip Forsberg in quite a few of my leagues. And Joel Eriksson Ek. Those have been my top performers across all of my leagues right now. This is about the time where you should likely be trying to sell some of your players. The trade deadline will be approaching within the next week or so. So if you're not in a position to win this year, definitely try and sell off some of your players for picks if you're in keeper leagues. Or it could be time for you to buy and hopefully win your fantasy playoffs. Hopefully you're all in good positions. We do our best to try and set you up for that each and every week. Going into this week, guys, I'm going to give you my favorite stream options: forward, defenseman, goalies. For me, each and every week, I like to stream goaltenders, so I'll get into that in the goalie segment. My name's Mike, and let's jump into the video. All right, let's get into this video, guys. Here we have the best schedule for the coming weeks. It's not really that good this week, especially compared to last week. I hate when Edmonton's the best team because outside of their big five or big six players, if you want to include Bouchard, there's really no one else available for you to stream this week, and I'll get into that when I jump into the players. But Edmonton does have the best schedule this week, so if you own a couple Oilers, it's going to be looking good for you. I know in the FPPL Atlantic, I have Bouchard and Hyman, so it's going to be pretty good for me this week with those two players. The other teams I want to be prioritizing here now are the LA Kings, Ottawa Senators, and the Washington Capitals. They all have 4 games, 2 off nights, and they have players that you can actually pick up and stream, not like the Oilers. And then there's also a bunch of teams with 4 games and 1 off night. I'm not going to be prioritizing them at all because there's enough players on the Kings, on the Senators, and on the Capitals that I think you should be streaming this week, and I'll jump into that in a couple segments from now. Just going to quickly glance over the worst schedule this week. 3 teams with 2 games. Never panic on those players if you own them. Just because they have 2 games doesn't mean you should be dropping them. And then there are a bunch of teams this week with 3 games and 3 busy nights. So your rosters are going to be full on those busy nights. You don't want to be adding players on the busy nights. You want to be streaming on the off nights when you can maximize your games played each and every week. At the time of recording, just 36% of you are subscribed to the channel, so if you've enjoyed the content so far, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all the content that we're going to be pumping out for the rest of the season. In addition, we have updated our projections for the rest of the season. If you're interested in gaining access to that, head on over to our Patreon. The link will be in the description. If you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment in this video or simply message me on Discord. Let's jump back into the video, guys. Now let's jump into the meat and potatoes of the video with the week 20 priority forward streamers. Pierre-Luc Dubois has actually been playing quite a bit more minutes recently, has actually been playing the body quite a bit more recently. He's hopefully breaking out of his slump, is going to be a late season riser here. Center left wing eligible, 42% rostered, so he might be rostered in some of your leagues. I like the dual position eligibility, but he is playing line 3, power play 2. LA Kings have a PP1A and a PP1B, so he's still going to be getting some decent power play time, and his minutes are getting up there. Over the last 10 games, he's playing around 17 to 19 minutes per night. That's what you want to be seeing from players. A very good schedule for them this week. If he's not available, I'd be looking at Quinton Byfield in a very similar position, except he does have the power play 1 tag. Center left wing eligible, 46% rostered. Very similar player, less hit volume, more upside in terms of points and shots. Shane Pinto here is looking extremely interesting for the Ottawa Senators, back after a 41-game suspension. Just center eligible, so it's going to be difficult to stream him on the busy nights. But line 2, power play 1, and he's been firing the puck a lot recently with 36 shots over his last 11 games. So Shane Pinto looking to be a sleeper for next season, but a very interesting player for this week. And if you can't get to any of these players, I would definitely be looking at Dylan Strome, who's playing well over 20 minutes in his last 10 games, with a couple games reaching over the 23-minute mark. With a lot of players injured up the middle right now, and Connor McMichael manning that top line, Strome looks like a great option right now. Power play 1, line 2, very good schedule, and another player that I think could be a massive sleeper going into next season with 21 goals, 42 points on the season right now on a team that is a bottom 5 team in terms of scoring. So if they can get a little bit better going into next year, Strome definitely could be a 2024-25 sleeper. The other forwards I'd be looking to stream a little bit more of a deeper league, but Tom Wilson definitely fits in the first category of players that definitely I'd be prioritizing here. Very good minutes, very good hit volume, good shot volume. He's pretty much an all-around fantasy stud right now. I would definitely be looking to pick him up for the next coming weeks. If you can't get to him and you're looking for a little bit more of a deeper league type player, Josh Norris here, you're getting power play 1 exposure. He's a shooter on the top power play unit. He has quite a bit of goal upside. It's just this Ottawa Senators team's a complete nightmare right now. They've been better as of late, but there's just games where he's going to be playing 13 minutes and then we'll go up to 19 minutes and then back down to 15 minutes. It's all over the place. You don't know what you're going to get. But the center right wing eligibility is nice, and the opportunity to stream a guy with 2 off-net games, 4 games this week on power play 1 is intriguing to me. Connor McMichael, definitely more of a deeper league type of player, and I just answered a question or Discord about whether someone should stream McMichael or not. 1% rostered, so he's going to be available in 14, 16 plus team leagues, and he's going to be getting line 1 minutes right now, power play 2 minutes. Very, very intriguing, skating alongside Ovechkin. Good schedule for them this week, so definitely a priority target for me. And then if you can't get to any of these players and looking for some hit upside and just an overall lottery ticket play with Matthew Joseph skating on the top line with Brady Tkachuk, very interesting player here with 2 games on the off nights. The Senators, again, they put their lines in a complete blender. I don't know what's going to go on each and every night, but an intriguing play for a guy that's going to be skating on the top line with decent hit volume and pretty good shot volume, let alone the minutes from playing on the top line. Some defenseman streamers, we can finally start to look at some Edmonton Oilers players because outside of their top 5 forwards, no one else plays over 15 minutes a night. But luckily, their defensive core is a little bit weaker, which means there is opportunity to stream some defensemen. Matthias Ekholm here at 48% rostered, may be available in 10 to 12 team leagues. You get a pair 1 power play 2 defenseman with a very good 3 off-night schedule this week. If you can't get to Ekholm and you're looking for another Oilers defenseman, Cody Ceci is the next man up, playing 22 plus minutes per night. Pretty good block volume, pretty good shot volume. He's just a defenseman that will give you solid 22 plus minutes per night on the second pair with a good schedule this week. Solid floor for Ceci. Not really a fan of him in his real life play, but he's still not bad for fantasy this coming week. Rasmus Sandin is finally getting on the scoreboard with 3 goals and 4 assists over his last 30 days. Not bad for Sandin, but the thing is he's sheltered behind Carlson on power play 2 and pair 2. Still going to get a defenseman with decent hit, block, and shot volume, playing 20 plus minutes per night with an okay schedule this week. And if you can't get to any of these guys, Matt Roy on the LA Kings, a pair 2 defenseman with no power play time, but a very solid floor and very solid peripherals. He's an all-around defenseman, and that's what you're going to get out of these D. There's not any power play 1 defenseman for you to stream this coming week, and that's typically who I like to target. But if you can't get to them, you want to be getting these high floor shot blocking, hit volume defensemen that will get you 6, 7, 8 points per night. And my favorite part of the video, the goalie streamers, for me, I mean, in the FPPL Atlantic, I like to use that as an example because it's arguably my most competitive league. We only have 4 streams per week, and for me, I'm picking up a goalie for all 4 of my ads. I'm dropping forwards to add goaltenders because I think they're just the safest and most predictable play each and every night. I just added James Reimer, who I recommended last week, to start on Sunday the 25th on the road against the Chicago Blackhawks. So hopefully some of these picks will give you a little bit more of a floor when you're streaming some players. So for the goalies this week, I wanted to pick out a couple that I think will give you good matchups and that they should start. So it looks like Calvin Pickard has a game at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now they play the night before on the road against Seattle, so I'm not sure which night Pickard's going to start. I'm just going to assume he's going to start in the second half in the back-to-back against Pittsburgh, who is 22nd in the league for goals for with 2.87 goals for per game. The Oilers are extremely good at home, so this is a very, very solid stream option. Now, Anton Forsberg here plays on the first night of the week on the road at the Washington Capitals. It could be him, it could be Korpisalo, so keep an eye out for that. But the Capitals are a very favorable matchup with 2.47 goals for per game, the 30th best goal scoring rate in the entire NHL. So a team you definitely want to be targeting against. Now this New Jersey Devils goaltending core has been an absolute nightmare this season. Pretty much their team has been just, up in arms, but for right now, it looks like Nico Daws and Akira Schmid are the 1-2 goalies right now. I think Dawes does have the starting goaltending opportunity, but he's been letting in a bunch of goals. Anyways, this week, they're both under 20% rostered, so they're likely available. They have two very favorable matchups on the road against San Jose, the 31st best goal scoring team with 2.07 goals for per game. And then they also play a couple days later on the road against Anaheim, who is the 29th best goal scoring team in the league. So very favorable matchups here for the New Jersey Devils, who should be heavy favorites in these games. I would be looking to stream Dawes or Kira Schmid, whoever started in both of these matchups, no question this week, just because of how heavy of a favorite they're going to be and how low the goal scoring is from their opponents. That will do it for the streamers video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.